My sister-in-law is planning a wedding at my house, and I'm not invited. But on her wedding day, the princess is surprised to find that I've changed the lock, and there will be no wedding. I'm 34 years old, and have been following this sub for a long time. Lately, there's something in my life that I needed an opinion on. I've read many posts about sisters-in-law to see if anyone else has gone through my situation and how they've handled it. Well, I guess my situation is unique, and I need some advice about it. It's about my sister-in-law, which is why I can't discuss this with my husband, family complexities. So here's the thing. My sister-in-law, who is 27 years old, is planning a wedding for the spring. She wants to hold it at my house. Yes, that's right. Not to brag, but I have a 4-bedroom house with a pool and a big garden. She is engaged to an Irish guy, so her family and relatives would need a place to stay when they come for the wedding. We have a pretty spacious living room and a big yard outside. She plans an outdoor wedding in the garden, followed by dinner in the living room. That's how she wants it to be. Now, the obvious question is, do I agree with this? Well, I don't know. That's why I'm here, looking for advice. Let me give you some context. I've been married to my husband for 8 years. We met in college and dated for 4 or 5 years before getting married. He doesn't come from a wealthy family, but he is a hardworking, self-made man. My father-in-law worked as a day laborer, and my mother-in-law did occasional jobs. My husband has a younger sister who has been living with my in-laws. Keep in mind, she is 27 years old and still doesn't work. Not only do they provide her with food and shelter, but they also cater to her extravagant demands. And when I say extravagant, I mean beyond their means. Unlike my husband, who completed his master's degree, my sister-in-law dropped out of college. Her parents didn't even insist that she finish college because she didn't need to be told anything. She is inspired by this new age influencer who says that a degree doesn't make you rich or successful. I find it strange because I was raised completely differently. Although my parents are quite wealthy, they never gave us privileges. Yes, we went to a private school, call it a luxury or whatever you want, but beyond that, my parents didn't do anything for our careers. When my brother and I were in high school, Dad told us to earn a scholarship or take out a student loan. He wasn't going to pay for our college. We used to hate it and thought our dad was stingy, but we studied hard and got scholarships. Now that I'm older, I realize the wisdom of their upbringing. It made us self-sufficient, especially after seeing my sister-in-law. I'm convinced of the importance of the role of parents in a person's life. When I got my first job right after college, I went crazy partying and vacationing. But Dad sat me down and showed me some good properties. I was happy that he was finally letting go of some money from his sticky hands, but that wasn't the case. He wanted me to buy the house myself. He paid the down payment and explained the importance of having my own house, and the sooner the better. He advised me to rent out half of it to help with the mortgage. I own this house today, which I'm glad about, considering the housing prices now. I think if I hadn't bought it, I wouldn't have been able to get such a spacious property at this price. If I have to talk about my relationship with my in-laws, it's been more or less acceptable. We don't see each other that often. They live on the other side of town, and I lead a very busy life. I still have a decent bond with my mother-in-law, and we talk once a week, but I just can't connect with my sister-in-law. I can't. We're polar opposites. She doesn't like me because during our initial interactions, I tried to convince her to finish her education and get a job. She thinks I'm jealous of her because her parents take care of her while mine abandoned me to live on my own. The worst part is that my in-laws say they're going through financial difficulties, but keep feeding their 27-year-old daughter. My husband and I offered to help her get an office job, but neither she nor my in-laws showed any interest. She's a slacker, no doubt about it, but my in-laws should have pushed her to work, though they're happy to provide for her. There are a couple of reasons why my sister-in-law wants to get married at my house. One, of course, is the space. She could have the wedding lunch and dinner all in one place, and even her guests could stay without needing to book a hotel. Another reason is that she can't afford to rent a venue, and if it's not my house, she'd have to settle for a courthouse wedding. She doesn't make money, and my in-laws don't have a fortune to spend on her wedding. My husband doesn't want to give an opinion on the matter because it's my house, and he wants me to make the decision regardless of what he thinks. That's my man, and that's why I love him so much. So my problem boils down to this. Do you think I should allow her to use my house as the venue for her wedding? Update 1. The day after tomorrow is the wedding, and today I found out I'm not invited. The funny part is that the wedding is at my house. Let me start from where I left off last time. Yes, I agreed to let her use my house for the wedding. I was definitely worried about it, but eventually I agreed. Now I regret my decision. I'm furious, so please excuse me if I'm just venting. My sister-in-law is nothing but a woman who uses men for money in exchange for, you know what. She isn't even that pretty, and don't get me started on her lack of intelligence. But, once the lights go out, most men don't care about all that. She might be good at what she offers, which is why she was able to hit the nail on the head. That's what she calls her fiancé. The nail. Not only is she superficial, but she's also a liar. I found out that her Irish fiancé is quite well off. He works as a banker, and even his family is wealthy. So, to impress them, she lied, saying my house was theirs. I knew about this lie for a while, but I didn't care because at the end of the day, it didn't affect me. When her fiancé proposed, she came to me and almost begged me to let her use my house for the wedding. As if that wasn't enough, my in-laws also came begging. They said that if I didn't agree, they might have to take out a loan to finance the wedding. I told them, why can't she and her fiancé finance it? My in-laws said that traditionally, the bride's parents pay for the wedding, and the Irish follow this tradition more strictly than we do. I don't know how true this is, so please don't judge me for it. Those aren't my words. Plus, my sister-in-law had already bragged to her fiancé and his family about the big house that could host a wedding. Her stupidity made me laugh. I said, what if I don't allow the wedding in my house? I mean, I can do that, right? Don't you think she should have asked me first before committing to this with her fiancé? My in-laws nodded and asked me to safeguard their reputation. I told them I would, but they should have done a better job raising their daughter. You see, I don't sugarcoat my words, and maybe that's why they think I'm arrogant. They don't understand that I say this for their own good. You know what happened next? They came to my house until I agreed to this. At one point, I thought, it's just a matter of 2 days. Let's get this over with. And yes, some people asked in the last post if she offered to pay rent. No. All of this happened 3 months ago when I made the original post. Fast forward to 2 days ago. My sister-in-law arrived with my in-laws and 2 other men. I was at work. I saw this on the camera installed inside. They have a motion sensor. I called her and asked what was going on. She said those guys were wedding planners. They were here for a site visit to plan the wedding accordingly. I asked her to be careful with my things. She assured me she would. After paying off my mortgage last year, I got rid of the tenants who occupied my 2 upstairs rooms. I took leave from work to prepare 2 rooms for them. I hired a cleaner for the task. It's a huge house to clean all by myself. Today, my sister-in-law showed up at 6 o'clock in the morning while we were still sleeping. She was leaving for her bachelorette party in the next town. She was here to see if everything was properly prepared. She was happy to see that I had prepared 2 rooms for them and rented a larger dining table for tonight's dinner. Then, she walked around the house saying, okay, those 2 rooms are ready for my in-laws. Mom and Dad will take your room, and I'll take the room with the walk-in closet. Wow, I'm so excited to show them my big house with all these fancy things. I can't wait to see their amazed expressions. When I gave her the house, I was already thinking of changing the locks after her wedding. After all, this isn't even my wedding. I think it's better to skip the ceremony. If she doesn't care about my stuff, why should I? If anyone wants to challenge me now, feel free to try it. I will do what's necessary to protect my belongings, but they won't. And I'm not scared. Just waiting for my moment.